Looping, what is it?
This. Oh my god! Ah!
Whoa, not that kind of looping.
Oh, you mean this kind of looping.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Today's episode of Behind Two Pallets is our top 5 looping tips.
Let's dive right in.
Looping in DBD is when you run circles around a pallet or tile as many times as possible.
And killers hate it. Some do anyway, which is why you need to learn it effectively, and we're gonna help.
These tips are in no particular order, and the first tip to learn is to look back while looping.
You have to look back to be able to see what the killer is doing. Some killers will try to mind game by changing direction. If you're looking back, you can see this and turn around as well.
Head into a practice match with bots if you are not comfortable doing this, and just practice it while the bots do their thing. You don't need someone chasing you to practice looking back while running around loops. Find a loop in the practice match and get to it.
We know you console players have a tough time looking backwards, so it's really important for you to get the hang of doing this with the joysticks. So get in there and get busy. Our second looping tip is chain loops together. If you see a window and a pallet outside that window, run around the pallet and then run to the window and repeat.
A lot of killers will respect pallets because they hate to be hit with them. You can use this to your advantage by not dropping the pallet and heading to the window instead.
Chaining loops together is one of the strongest things a survivor can learn to do while in chase.
Our next tip, number 3, is don't give up distance. What I mean by that is don't stop at the first loop you see if you have time to make it to a further one.
If you need to get chased though, it's important not to run too far where the killer will decide not to chase you and just go back for someone else.
It's a balancing act for sure. Try to figure out your killer's playstyle. If they commit to chases, then just run as far as you can until you absolutely have to start looping. Don't stand at your current loop and wait for the killer to get to you.
This is especially true against certain killers like Huntress and Nurse, where keeping your distance is key to survival.
Here you can see after I initiate chase with the head-on stun that I run past multiple loops to maintain as much distance as possible. Our fourth looping tip is don't camp pallets. This is similar to giving up distance. When you are looping and chaining loops, don't sit at the pallet and drop it right when the killer arrives.
Yeah, that's the opposite of looping. Leave the pallets up as long as possible and loop the pallet, and then drop it when the killer gets too close and you won't make it around again.
You can sometimes even pretend you are going to drop the pallet, but instead, loop again. If the killer respects the pallet, meaning they stop short of the pallet afraid to get stunned, you'll be able to make it around the loop another time. Here I am looping the Nemesis, and he expects me to drop the pallet, so he swings his tentacle and misses because I keep running.
And our last tip of the day for looping is don't loop near generators that are being worked on.
Also, if it's near the end of the game and there are only a few generators left, you really want to do your best to draw the killer away from those gens so your teammates can work on them. A perk like Bond will do great at helping you decide where you should try to loop the killers at.
Again, I'll take him to this generator that's done, because if he chases here, that would be a mistake on his part. Since we are talking about perks, another great perk for looping is Windows of Opportunity.
That's right, Windows of Opportunity allows you to see all pallets and window vaults that are within a 24, 28, or 32 meter radius of you.
Okay, let's put on a great looping build and jump into a game and see if we can make use of some of these tips.
Okay, so here we are. We're about to jump into our game where we're gonna show some looping tips in action. I've thrown on what I think might be a good build for looping a killer. We've got Bond, so we can see where our teammates are at and not run into them while we're getting chased. We got Windows of Opportunity, so we know where we can go to loop the killer. We got fog-wise, so if we're sitting on a gen, we can hit skill checks and potentially see when the killer's coming, or just in general where the killer's at. And overcome for when we get hurt, to make it to an even further loop to try to draw the killer into another area where there's no survivors. So let's get started. Alright, we've got good old Mother's Dwelling here on the Red Forest. Let's see if we can't put some of these looping skills to the test. There's the shack. Got a generator out here in the open. Pretty strong loop to our right and a strong loop behind us. Look at Bill up there hiding in that building. Sometimes Bond really shows you what your teammates are really doing. Kate's getting chased and that other Bill's up there crouched in the building. And fog-wise, when you hit a great skill check, you see the killer's aura. We've got a Billy, so we should have a decent chance at getting some loops in. We'll see if he's a curved Billy or not. That'll make all the difference. I don't see his aura for some reason. Weird. Not sure why. Tinkerer? Tinkerer makes the killer go undetectable for 12, 14, or 16 seconds. Yep. When a generator hits 70%. Start running early, maintain as much distance as possible, but still try to get him to chase us. I want to try to make sure Billy keeps chasing me, so I'm trying to stay around this generator that's almost done so he doesn't go back to the unhook when it happens. I think he's coming shack. No, he's going to the hook. So we maintained distance there, and he ended up dropping chase. I think he kind of expected me to be hiding by this generator. Now, I don't think I'm going to get this finished before he gets here, though. Maybe I will. No sense in giving him a free hit, so just move around the generator and avoid it. Not sure what he's doing, honestly. That Bill's got a wiggle, right? No way. Was he not wiggling? Okay, so we got a pallet here. Remember though, don't camp pallets and just drop them. Use them to loop. Make sure to keep looking back as we vault this window, and we noticed that Billy was going to the doorway, so we turn and go the other way. Then we head back to the pallet and keep looping and maintaining distance. We hold the corner to make sure we know which way he's going to go and then start looping. Then we do a little stutter step like we're going to stop and drop the pallet, but then loop it on the short side. Good try, good try. We made a mistake, so we take that opportunity to get some more distance. Uh-oh. Ooh. Spicy. Now he really should have got us there. So we go back to the corner and hold it again. And Tinkerer just procs, so he's going to go off to that generator. We'll go ahead and follow him to that generator and see if we can't finish it while the other survivor's being chased. Oh. Now that's wiretap, so as soon as Tinkerer wore off, we could see Billy and we can make sure we avoid him. Again, he respected that pallet, assuming I was going to drop it, and I did not. Remember, get distance whenever you can. Alright, he's kicking the gen, so I'm going to make as much distance as possible here. Trying to stay out in the open to act as bait so he'll chase me. Spicy. I'm gonna go back towards this gen so he doesn't go up there and bother them guys. Oh, okay. We're gonna head back to this gen now since he kicked it. He's got Tinkerer active again.
Good job, Bill. I'll heal Ada since Kate's gonna get chased off the building there. Now we're in chase again, and we've got 2 pallets to work with and a window, so let's chain them together. See, we got this chain here. Look at this. Whoa! I was a little slow to react to him cutting back, so instead of dropping the pallet, I take the short side of the loop. Oh, good try. He might have got me there. Just go ahead and drop this pallet to make sure he has to break it and lose bloodlust. I think he's gonna leave me here. Oh dear God! He did not leave, he just proc Tinkerer, and he is chasing me. So we're gonna use this main building vaults and see if we can make some plays. A lot of times you can fake that vault up there, and sometimes the killers will drop off and you'll just be standing up there. Oh, which I think would have worked right there, but I actually vaulted it. So we're kind of dead here. Luckily he wasn't ready for us to go around that pole. So we go back to the window again. Head over to this pallet. I think we can make it. Is this the gate? Bill, get out of my pallet. Oh my God. You, Bill. And sandbagged. Bill should have ran away as he saw me coming with the killer chasing me and got away from that. Kate was really smart here. She got that gate open. Not sure I would have dropped that pallet. She should have just opened it all the way though. And why wouldn't you open the gate? Luckily, I was able to get the hit there with that chainsaw, otherwise Ada would have been dead. Give Bill the bags. Shame on you, Bill, sandbagging me. But we all escaped, so it worked out. We ended up with 10,000 boldness points, which means we did a good job looping. We hope you can use some of these tips and improve your Survivor gameplay. If you have any tips that you'd like to share, leave them down in the comments and let us know. That's right, we read every comment. If you have another topic you'd like tips on, let us know in the comments, and maybe the next episode of Behind Two Pallets will cover your topic. Thanks for watching, and we would appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content from us in the future. I'm your host, Bill Overbeck. And I'm Rupture. And next week I hear we might have a guest host, David King. Trying to replace me, I see. We'll see you next time.